4th of December, we're going to experience a very karmic full moon. The full moon in Gemini is the last full moon of the year. It is also a very karmic one and a very, very good opportunity for us to release our build-up negative karma, especially. Why? Because this full moon is going to exactly square the nodes. Square North Node at 13 degrees of Pisces and South Node at 13 degrees of Virgo. This full moon is going to happen at 13th degree of Gemini. Not only that, the ruler of this full moon, which is Mercury, is in Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of karma. Either you let go or you will get bogged down by all the unevolved karma that you've been racking up. So the ruler is in Scorpio and the full moon itself is going to square the nodes. This is a skip step pattern, meaning that there's something that is unfinished that you need to integrate in order for you to go towards the North Node, which is in Pisces, and let go smoothly of what you've been or of what you need to let go in Virgo. So this is a simple explanation on the skip step full moon in Gemini for all 12 rising signs. For the first rising sign, we will go to Aries rising, the most accurate, followed by Aries sun and Aries moon. For my dear Aries rising friends, this full moon in Gemini will occur in your 3rd house. This is the house of siblings, communication, skills, knowledge. This is also actually the house of self-made wealth, believe it or not. I think you already heard it. I think this is the house of self-made wealth, because this house has something to do with social media, just like the 11th house, communications, and also skills. Especially in this modern age, this is the house of self-made wealth also. So when it comes to the full moon in Gemini, there's going to be a culmination in terms of your 3rd house matters. You also have to remember this full moon is in a skip step configuration, meaning that there's some karma that needs to be released and integrated. The South Node is in Virgo, the North Node is in Pisces. The South Node is in the 6th house, the North Node is in the 12th house. So there's something that you need to release in terms of your 3rd house, maybe about siblings, maybe about communications, so you can take advantage of the lunar nodes transit. So you can get more out of the Pisces North Node and release more out of the Virgo South Node. Not to mention the ruler of this full moon, which is Mercury, is in the sign of Scorpio. For you, Aries rising is in the 8th house. So once again, the theme is cleansing, transformation, release, in order for you to reduce your karmic burden and increase your good karma. For the next rising sign, we will go to Taurus rising, the most accurate, followed by Taurus sun and Taurus moon. For my dear Taurus rising friends, this full moon in Gemini will highlight your 2nd house. This is about money, resources, and value. Also about self-worth. So there's something regarding your 2nd house that you need to release. There's a culmination there regarding money, for example. But because this full moon is in a skip step configuration with the nodes, right? It's squaring the nodes in Pisces and Virgo. There is a karmic, very strong karmic elements towards this full moon. Not to mention the ruler of this full moon is in Scorpio. For you, Taurus rising, Scorpio is your 7th house. So there's something regarding karma that will involve your partnership, 7th house, regarding money. So this is a good time for you to cleanse, a good time for you to release old karma, and a very good time for you to integrate what is holding you back in terms of your 2nd house. For the 3rd rising sign, we will go to Gemini rising, the most accurate, followed by Gemini sun and Gemini moon. For Gemini risings, this full moon will highlight your 1st house. This is basically you are the physical embodiment of this full moon because it's happening in your first house. First house is your personality, first impression, it's your body, it's your aura, it's your energy. It's what people catch when they first saw you. Appearance also first house. But because this full moon is in a skip step configuration with the nodes, right? Virgo, South Node, Pisces, North Node, it means that you, your physical embodiment, you, physically, you, your energy, is part of this karmic thing that you need to integrate. You, I'm not saying that you're part of the problem. No, you are part of the problem, but you are part of the solution. Because this is a skip step. There's something that is skipped. In this case, you. There's something within you that prevents you to go to your North Node, but at the same time prevents you to release your South Node. Remember, the ruler of this full moon is in Scorpio, another sign of karma. So you need to let go something regarding your first house that is blocking your access or your path towards the North Node and blocking your access or your path towards releasing your South Node. The next rising sign, we will go to Cancer rising, the most accurate, followed by Cancer sun and Cancer moon. For my dear Cancer rising friends, this full moon in Gemini will happen in your 12th house. This is important because you are the moon. You're being illuminated, but it's in the 12th house. Because for Cancer rising, Gemini is your 12th house. This is about mental health, isolation, spirituality, rest, sleep, dreams, but eventually this is about your mental health. There's something about your mental health that you need to release. But because this full moon is in a configuration, a skip step configuration with the North and South Node, your mental health is blocking you or getting in the way for you to go into your North Node, the transiting North Node, and releasing your South Node. Not to mention, the ruler of this full moon is in Scorpio. For you, Cancer rising, Scorpio is your 5th house. So maybe your children will have solution. Maybe your creativity, your romance, your love, maybe your joy, things that make you joyful, your creative expression, your creativity could be the solution for you to integrate your 12th house, where this full moon is located, so you can release your South Node and gather momentum towards your North Node in Pisces. For the next rising sign, we will go to Leo rising, the most accurate, followed by Leo sun and Leo moon. For my dear Leo rising friends, this full moon in Gemini will highlight your 11th house. This is about friendship, social media, networking, hopes and dreams, long-term goals. This is also about community. So there's something regarding your 11th house that is being illuminated. But because this full moon is in a skip step configuration with the North and South Node, there's something regarding your 11th house that you need to integrate or you need to release so that you can create a new good karma, but at the same time you can release the negative burdensome karma because it is squaring both nodes. South Node release karma, North Node creating a new karma. The ruler of this full moon, which is Mercury, is in the sign of Scorpio. For you, Leo rising, Scorpio is your 4th house. Scorpio is your 4th house. Maybe your family could help you. Maybe you're something in the home, your family, your mother. Maybe there's something regarding your property could help you in terms of integrating the 11th house. So you can release your South Node and gather momentum towards your North Node, the transiting North Node in Pisces. Maybe something about your properties or your home that could help you integrate in terms of friendship, social media, or networking. For the next rising sign, we will go to Virgo rising, the most accurate, followed by Virgo sun and Virgo moon. For my dear Virgo rising friends, this full moon in Gemini will highlight your 10th house. This is about career, public image, status. But because this full moon is in a skip step pattern with the North and South Node, the South Node is in the 1st house, you, the North Node is in the 7th house, your partner. So there's something in terms of a career that you need to integrate so that you can release the South Node in the 1st house something within your personality that is no longer serves you, and you can gather momentum towards your 7th house. Maybe a relationship that is meant for you, for your growth. So the key here is integrating or looking at your 10th house, your career. What is in your career that is blocking you? Releasing the bad side of yourself, 1st house, and blocking you from gaining momentum. Regarding your relationship, 7th house. Not just career, status, right? Public image. Not only that, the ruler of this full moon, Gemini, is in Scorpio. Scorpio is your 3rd house. Something about siblings, communications that could help you to integrate. For the next rising sign, we will go to Libra rising, the most accurate, followed by Libra sun and Libra moon. For my dear Libra rising friends, this full moon in Gemini will highlight your 9th house. This is about traveling, foreigners, religion, philosophy of life, higher learnings. This is also about optimism, the law, publishing. There's something regarding your 9th house that is illuminated or culminating because of this full moon in Gemini. But because this full moon is in a skip-step pattern with the North and South node, something in your 9th house needs to be integrated so that you can release the karma of your South node and gather momentum towards your new karma in your North node. The ruler of this full moon is Mercury, is in the sign of Scorpio. So maybe money will have something to do with it. Money will help you, or money will be an impetus for you to integrate or release your karma through your 9th house. So you can release the negativity of the South node and gather momentum towards your North node. For the next rising sign, we will go to Scorpio rising, the most accurate, followed by Scorpio sun and Scorpio moon. For my dear Scorpio rising friends, this North node, this full moon in Gemini will highlight your 8th house. Because for Scorpio, Gemini is your 8th house. 8th house is the house that is familiar because this is the original house of Scorpio. So it's about transformation, it's about death, it's about occult, it's about mysteries, it's about psychology, it's about shared resources. This is the house of intimacy, this is the house of secrets, also investments, money, big money. So there's some culmination here. But because Gemini or this full moon is having in a skip step configuration with the North and South node, there needs to be some integration. There needs to be acknowledgement that there is something regarding your 8th house that you need to take care of, or you need to integrate, so that you can release your South node and gather momentum towards your transiting North node in Pisces. The ruler of this full moon is in the 1st house, is in you. So you will have the ultimate decision whether you want to integrate or not, because the ruler is in the 1st house, you. Whether you want to integrate or not, the most important thing is that this full moon will highlight things that you've been avoiding in terms of your 8th house. Take a look at your 8th house. What are some things or challenges regarding your 8th house that you've been avoiding? Because skip step is avoidance. So that you can release your Virgo house and you can gather momentum towards your Pisces house. For Scorpio rising, Pisces is your 5th house. It's about children, creativity, joy. Be aware of that. Joy. The ruler Mercury is in the 1st house. You have the ultimate decision. For the next rising sign, we will go to Sagittarius rising, the most accurate, followed by Sagittarius sun and Sagittarius moon. For my dear Sagittarius rising friends, this full moon in Gemini will highlight your 7th house. This is about marriage, partnership, whether it's personal or business. This is also about contracts. So this full moon will highlight the 7th house, your relationship with other, together with partnership, marriage included. But because this is in a skip step configuration with the North and South node, it will have a very profound connection with your career and your home. But the key to unraveling or reducing the burden of karma is in the 7th house, your relationship. The ruler of this full moon is in the 12th house in Scorpio. For Sagittarius rising, Scorpio is your 12th house. So your mental health will have something to do with your relationship, 7th house. And when you connect those two, mental health and relationship, you can then integrate with your career and also your home. Remember, for Sagittarius rising, the current transiting north node is in Pisces, your home. You are meant in the short term to focus on your home. In order for you to do that, you have to integrate the 7th house, release the 10th house, your career, and take a look at your mental health, the 12th house. For the next rising sign, we will go to Capricorn rising, the most accurate, followed by Capricorn sun and Capricorn moon. For my dear Capricorn rising friends, this full moon in Gemini will highlight your 6th house. This is about chores, day-to-day activities. This is about your physical health, pets. This is about routines, basically. So there's something that's going to be highlighted because of this full moon in your 6th house. But because this full moon is having a skip-step connection with the north and south node, so there's integration so that you can release negative karma, burdensome karma. The ruler of this full moon in your 6th house is in Scorpio. Scorpio for Capricorn rising is your 11th house. So maybe somehow, in order for you to integrate or release the burdensome karma because of the skip step, it has something to do with your friends, maybe. Social media, your network could help you. Hopes and dreams, right? Something regarding that. Maybe your friends could help you because this full moon is in the 6th house, house of work, house of health. Maybe your friends could help your health. Either way, you need to pay attention to your 6th house so you can release the burdensome karma or the karmic connection so that you can go towards your Pisces north node and effectively release your south node, your Virgo south node. The next rising sign, we will go to Aquarius rising, the most accurate, followed by Aquarius sun and Aquarius moon. For my dear Aquarius rising friends, this full moon in Gemini will highlight your 5th house. This is quite a good house. The full moon is highlighting children, creativity, joy, romance, love, gambling also, entrepreneurship, right? This full moon will highlight those things. But because this full moon is having a skip-step connection with the north and south node, right? There's something regarding your 5th house that you need to integrate so that you can release whatever is holding you back on your Virgo south node and gain more momentum in your Pisces north node. Remember, for Aquarius rising, Pisces, where the north node is currently located, is your money house. Maybe there's something regarding your 5th house, maybe creativities or gambling, that you need to integrate or you need to release in order for you to gain more momentum in terms of your money. That's it. Remember, the ruler of this full moon, which is Mercury, is in Scorpio. For Aquarius rising, Scorpio is your 10th house. Maybe your career has something to do with your creativity so that you can move towards more prosperity, 2nd house, and release your Virgo, 8th house. For the last rising sign, we will go to Pisces rising, the most accurate, followed by Pisces sun and Pisces moon. For my dear Pisces rising friends, this full moon in Gemini will highlight your 4th house. This is about family, properties, ancestry. There's something here that is culminating in your family, in your home. But because this full moon is in a skip-step relationship with the nodes, there's some karmic connections that you need to let go of so that you can create a new, beautiful, positive karma, but at the same time you release the burdensome karma. And the integration come from this full moon in Gemini in your 4th house. The ruler of this full moon is in Scorpio. For Pisces rising is in the 9th house. Remember, the north node is currently in the 1st house, you are the north node. So your aim is to focus more on yourself, the best version of yourself. right? And the full moon will highlight or will show you the integration that you need so that you can go towards your best version of your first or of yourself. But the ruler of this full moon is in Scorpio, in the ninth house. Mercury is in Scorpio. For Pisces rising, Scorpio is your ninth house. So it's about philosophy, traveling, religion, higher minds. Maybe you can use your optimism, your higher minds, or maybe you can use traveling as a form of inspiration. So you can release or integrate your fourth house or your family so that you can be the best of yourself, first house. But at the same time, you can effectively release your negative relationship, seventh house.